What trend did you follow as a kid that makes you cringe now? I used to wear those black button-down shirts with fire at the bottom, like the kind Guy Fieri wears. I don't know if it was an actual trend or not, but it still makes me cringe. You were in Flavortown and didn't even know it. The obnoxious kid in our homeroom wore those. He also had red spiked hair. I used Bath and Body Works roll-on glitter religiously, cucumber melon obviously. But I used so much of it that instead of having a little sparkle under my eyes, my skin was tinted green and caked with glitter. About once every 3 to 4 years I smell cucumber melon from B&BW and have a flashback to the late 90s and my high school girlfriend. So much cucumber melon lotion. Effing happy bunny shirts. It's all about me. Deal with it. I'll be nicer when you're smarter. Especially annoying since I was the most shy and passive person in my school probably. I had one of those calendars and took it to school every day and set it on my desk during my school years. The thing is I had 6 different classes, so I would unpack it and pack it back in. I mean, really looking at it now, crotch chopping and telling people to suck it was really my generation's version of the dab. Generation X. I remember being sent to the principal's office for telling a girl to suck it while I made an X on my crotch. I had no idea what I was telling her to suck. Heh, same exact thing happened to me. Then one of my older relatives was scolding me. Do you know how disgusting it is for you to tell a girl to take your penis and put it in her mouth and suck it? My response was, they can do that. In my day, we put as much gel in our hair as we could and angled it up like a ski slope. Hair was solid as a rock. I didn't really understand this at first, so I just put a bunch of gel in my hair, but didn't do the ski slope or other styling. It was just a normal rounded haircut that I'm pretty sure would also count as a bicycle helmet. Yeah, haha. Used to do that too. Push his rhino horn down frantically as it bounces back up. Wearing skirts over jeans. OMG, I just had to shout that memory out of my head. After I stopped with the jeans, I did the leggings with the denim skirt combo. Oh yeah, I definition did that in middle school, along with those plastic bracelets that were supposed to signify how far you've gone with someone, as if anyone was getting laid in 7th grade lol. Being the only kid in my class to take care of a Tamagotchi. I was the mom who had to take their kid's Tamagotchi to work with her because her daughter was afraid it might die. You're a good mom. In 8th grade to sophomore year, the emo and scene queen phase was huge. I was that one emo girl who had to shop at Kohl's. The Avril Lavigne clothing line at Kohl's. Because same. I had a white, but like, partially see-through shirt from that line and my mom always called it my skin disease shirt and made me wear a cami under. Bowl cuts. There was definitely a bowl cut hierarchy going on in my middle school. I remember Mike had like the Mercedes of bowl cuts. Meanwhile I was sporting the Ford Focus. He had the fine porcelain bowl, and you had the plastic Tupperware. Nothing said suave like a popped collar on a Ralph Lauren polo shirt. You mean you only had one collar? All the cool kids I knew wore at least 2 polos. The coolest wore 3, usually hot pink, neon green, and electric blue. I still see people that wear their polos with popped collars. Why? Mostly older European men who smell strongly of aftershave at my gym who work out in them. I had a long belt that hung down over my crotch like an elephant trunk. Also wore gym shorts under my jeans for pickup games, even though I only ever played 3v3 with my friends on the weekend lol. Lol, I remember that trend with the belt. We had a rule in my middle school that our belts had to be the proper length, and I once got in trouble for having a belt hang down. I once drew a picture of me with the hang down belt in 1st grade and my teacher thought it was a penis and sent me to the principal's office. Those nylon breakdancing pants with all the zippers. Those zippers hurt. Now where did I leave my keys? Pats myself down. Parachute pants. Purchased a pair at Chesking when I was 13. I bought into the classic 90s trends that immediately come to mind: the butterfly clips, frosted lips and eyes, platform shoes, all very Spice Girls. I'm having to relive it because my 12-year-old is now into the same things, except instead of pulling back strands of hair with butterfly clips, She's clipping them haphazardly throughout her entire mane. I cannot wait for the trend to die. Oh my god. I spent hours practicing butterfly clip styles. So much separating with a fine tooth comb, zigzag parts, and twisting, and getting the little front dangly bits just right. How does the back of my head look? Whatever, it's probably fine. Effing perms and Sunin that I put in my red hair that made it a crazy orange color. Ugh. As a male, I did Sunin and then just peroxide on my short dark brown hair. Turned out way better than when I got professional highlights and everyone called me Patches for a semester. I'm really sorry I laughed, but this made me feel so much better. I asked my mom when I was an adult why in the world did she let me do that to my hair, and she said, well, you wanted to. I cringe when I look at pics from that age. I honest to God had a mullet and I wore cut off tank tops. My little brother is in high school and this is making a weird comeback. Maybe it's because we live in a semi-rural area, but he and his buddies all look like these weird effing hillbilly clones. Mullets, cut off tanks, athletic shorts, and boots. They also pine over classic Camaras and El Caminos. Hey, nothing against classic Camaras, they're beautiful. Neon fishnet fingerless gloves. Mom told me I'd be embarrassed about in the future. Mom was right. How can we save our own kids from the embarrassment? No, wait, why would we try? We can harness that embarrassment later. Totally. My mom would often take pictures and say, oh, you're going to love this picture when you're 30. The Naruto bandana. I found mine at my parents' house recently. Did you find your virginity as well? No, he never lost that. You guys remember in the early mid 2000s when we all had graphic tees with stick figures that said sarcastic things? Yeah. I was hoping you guys forgot. 90s kids have you beat with no rules shirts with hardcore Hot Wheelers flexing their muscles and ghetto versions of Looney Tunes character shirts. Oh yeah. The classic back quote, if you see the police, warn a brother with the WB logo. Prob still have them on the boardwalks down the shore. Being mean to the slightly annoying kid just trying to fit in. Oof. I remember being slightly mean to another kid for that reason. He was also in my Boy Scout troop, where we got along fine, because it wasn't school. One day him and his father got in a car crash, and he didn't make it. It was the first funeral I ever attended, and I cried hard. I talked to his dad years later, and he was still a shell of man. Try not to make life hard for each other is what I learned. It's too short. It's almost as if Hair's annoying cause Hair's frustrated that no one wants him. Source, I was that kid. Until I would just make an ass out of myself in class to get cheap laughs. All of a sudden girls are sitting next to me, haha, kill me fam. That was me. I always made jokes and shit because I felt awkwardly alone throughout most of K-12. I wore a reffing fedora for over a year. People had no clue what my hair looked like because I never took that effer off. When I took it off one day in English to scratch my head, my teacher stopped mid-sentence and just said, I've never seen your hair before. You have such gorgeous curly hair that any of these girls in here would kill for, and you cover it with that hat? And honestly that was a turning point. Literally taking off that fedora for the last time really helped me out of my edgelord phase. // What's that? It's my effing fedora. XLIT. Being that depressed edgy kid who hated everything and everyone. There is nothing more embarrassing than remembering how stupid you really were when trying to look cool. I remember being that kid when I was younger. The only caveat was that I actually had depression and it effing sucked. Seriously, depression plus puberty hormones plus self-imposed social isolation equals shitty teenage years. Anyone who would want to go through that is honestly asking for a shitty time. Buying and trading silly bands. There was an elementary school black market for literal rubber bands. I was a kingpin when it came to silly bands. I lived right across the street from convenience store. Were you one of those kids who had their entire arm covered in silly bands? They flexed hard. Thinking that hating popular things made me cool. Girls yelled at me for cutting out Justin Bieber's head in the Scholastic Book Fair sheet. How dare you? Like and sub please.